Hello, my name is Bill Haley, and this is for Haley 2024, The Movement's Government Reform Ideas. Now, this video is going to be on the private law enforcement. This is an abbreviated video, targeting about 4 or 5 minutes, and we're going to talk about how do we get to a private law enforcement. The structure is going to have a lot of accountability, make sure we have the proper funding, a lot better societal oversight than the current system. So let's go through it all. So the two big things when you go to private law enforcement is that we have oversight and make sure the funding's correct. Because we don't have a monopolized government law enforcement anymore. We go to a competitive governance, private law enforcement type of business here. So competitive governance, we're going to use that structure, the CRA structure within that, and all that means. So there's a lot that means, and you need to go through that CRA structure. I have videos out there. Everything's on my website. But if you can find this video on social media, look throughout, and you're going to see a video on CRAs and what the competitive governance structure is. And that's what this is right here. I'm not going to go through it all thoroughly, but you can have CRAs where this is 90% of it, where you get governed by your CRA, your competitive governance. There's a rating system giving high quality information from a wide variety of perspectives, and that's going to stop abuse, corruption, and anything dealing with low integrity. So let's keep on going and making sure there's no negative externalities. They're not harming people's civil liberties. We have a system for everything, and people are held accountable. We have a system for it. One part of a citizen's responsibilities in a nation or a state or a locality is to help create, fund, and enforce the rule of law. So everybody has to contribute. So there is competitive governance and a hierarchy of leadership using a CRA structure. So there is a hierarchy of leadership, but most of it's going to stay at your CRA, your competitive governance. The badge requires police officers to protect everyone within immediate danger within guidelines. So if I hire somebody to protect me, a law enforcement company, they have a badge. They have to help anybody within immediate danger. Then their police detectives from their law enforcement agency, they go do the investigation and do the follow-up. So everybody's going to be protected, similar to what it is now, but I think a lot better. All police businesses must cooperate in many aspects, such as to make sure there's joint patrols. So there will be a mandate that these police businesses will have to cooperate. Many aspects of it. Okay, oversight. Every police business and officer must attain a badge, which the authority to operate as a police officer, from 70% or representatives of 70% of the citizens. Highly important to understand each word there. Representatives of 70% of the citizens of their locality, of their state, of the federal government. And that's monopolized. So people have to sign off saying that you are not corrupt, you're respecting civil liberties, you are trained, and the like. So we don't just do a free-for-all. Okay, so let's keep on going. 40% of the LEA, law enforcement authorization, can pull a badge. So it doesn't take a lot to say you're violating civil liberties too much. You're being a thug out there. You're not you're being racist, or you're doing this or that. People can pull your badge if you're not doing right. Which means a police business cannot hire you if you're doing that. The LEAs will train officers and run internal affairs. So they're down deep into it. They can control or have accountability. Not control you so much, but in a way control you for not having negative externalities and not violating civil liberties, doing your job the way you're supposed it to be done. Okay, funding. A big part of what people's concern would be is funding. Is there going to be enough funding to have enough police officers to manage this? The answer is yes. The system mandates it. Okay, every citizen and business must contract with one of at least 6 viable law enforcement businesses per locality. So you have to have a lot of law enforcement businesses out there. They're all going to be working together, cooperating to some degree, but yours is going to be yours, and your money going to theirs is going to hire you. That's going to be important because they're going to hire people with your more of your philosophy. They're going to protect you. Now, they're going to have to protect everybody to some degree within immediate danger, but it's going to be a system, and they have to cooperate together. Part of the price of contracts would be based on value of homes or a percentage of retail sales, just because I know it's going to be expensive, and the poor cannot foot enough of the bill to make sure they are protected enough. So yeah, there will be some proportionality on this. I know that's controversial, but we have to go that way to some degree. A rating system to help give high quality information and help that accountability board, the law enforcement authorization board, out a little bit too. The rating agencies would give high quality information from a variety of perspectives. So each police officer is going to have a rating score type of thing. If you have a badge, you have authority over people to some degree within guidelines. You have to be held accountable. And the law enforcement agencies and the rating agencies can really hold you accountable. Both the LEA and the rating systems will ensure civil liberties are honored. The rating floors will stop abuses. We have many methods and many people with real power to stop abuses. If the crime rate on rating floors are exceeded, so the murder rate goes up too high, many requirements will increase. Requirement on funding, requirements on a lot of different things. Maybe additional time in the prison, longer sentences. We have a full system for that. Again, this is an abbreviated version of it. A lot more can be found on Haley2024.org. And until the next video.